One of the most painful things in business is to send outreach emails and get no responses. Hi John, I could have sent you a pigeon. To you? What are we doing? What is this? That is actually a really nice first line. I would much prefer it rather than this AI slop. In this video, I'm going to be going over the cold emails that I get. I'll show you the bad, the ugly, and maybe even a few good ones might sneak in there. And I'll tell you how to fix your cold email messages to actually get responses and ultimately sign clients, right? Cold email is different to ads. Ads is different to content. Everything is different. So cold email has its tweaks that you have to apply, and I don't think people quite get that. So we'll jump into it. I'll show you what I get. I'll show you what I would have done differently to catch my own attention, because I would know best, right? So let's jump into it. So in my business inbox, I have a label called outreach examples, and I use this to tag whenever I see an outreach email. And I've also gone in and started a couple that I found I wanted to record this video on. I don't remember what they are because it's been a few days, but let's see. The first one, Robert Bloom. Okay, at least you have a picture. That's a good start. I like the fact that he has a picture. And he said, hey John, we don't know each other. I found you through a database. I mean, okay. If you look at this email, let's see if you notice something that I noticed. The fact that there's 2 line breaks makes me figure out that, okay, this is a cold email. And one of the things you must realize with cold email is as soon as someone sniffs that this is a cold email, they're going to throw it in the trash. They're going to ignore the rest of the email. Like if I see this, if I've opened this email and see this, for me it's gone. I'm already gone. I'm not reading this because I can just scanning this. I can already see CRMs, branded apps. You're using too many jargons and numbers, and I know it's not really about me. So I'm already pretty much gone. And with cold emails, one of the things I really dislike is if you are being desperate and being self-deprecating too much. You're like, here comes my pitch. Wish me luck. And I also see this. Either way, hope this wasn't too painful to read. It's like, okay, man, like you sound like someone who isn't a winner. You don't sound like an expert. You're putting yourself at such a low status that I'm not going to deem you as an expert to trust whatever you're saying is true. So let's go to the next one. This is the one that I actually replied to. And this guy's legit. His picture doesn't even look like a real picture. Make sure when you pick a picture, maybe you pick one that doesn't look, this one, like at a glance, it definitely looks like an AI picture. Okay, look at this email. So this email, the reason I responded to it is because he mentioned my competitors. So he mentioned a couple competitors that I have a keen interest in. And I didn't even care about the rest of his email. It wouldn't have got my attention, but he said, hey, we work with BD agencies, name drop big competitors. And I was already intrigued. So he did that really, really well. And I said, hey, tell me what you've done. And he said, yeah, we've done XYZ with inboxes. Do you want to go straight for a meeting? Which I don't like, right? He's pushing towards a meeting without giving me... as soon as I responded, you have to realize this is your chance to, you can put in links now. As soon as a prospect replies, this is your chance to nurture them like crazy. You don't want to overwhelm them, but here, right, I had to push for him to send a case study video from the people he mentioned because I didn't believe him. And he actually did. He actually had a case study video from my competitor. So he could have sent this here, right, in the initial reply and cut all that back and forth. The more back and forth you have, the less likely they are to convert. The next one, let's go to Richard. Okay, I remember why I picked this, and I want to mention this specifically. Again, the thing with the 2 double line breaks, as soon as I recognize pattern of cold email, because the line breaks are almost perfectly aligned. It's like icebreaker, case study, offer, CTA. Like I can see it, right? Each line indicates a reason on the cold email spectrum, and maybe that's because I'm someone who's in the industry, but someone who isn't also is going to notice this, but they're not going to notice what the pattern is. That's it, right? They're going to subconsciously know there's some kind of cold email because it's perfectly structured into line breaks. But the reason I actually picked this cold email to call out is, again, this is bad. You guys know this is bad. The reason this icebreaker doesn't work, this first line serves 0 purpose because I know you are picking this information from my LinkedIn summary. So as soon as you are picking obvious information that someone wrote in their LinkedIn summary, headline, or a website tag, we know it's scraped. So there's no point for the icebreaker to be there, right? So just ignore the icebreaker or put more effort in making this icebreaker seem more human. Because a lot of icebreakers you'll see often says like a tagline. It's like, hey, I love your execute philosophy. And it's like, companies that have execute philosophy as their core headline in their website, and then it's just restating the obvious. And he's not really saying anything. Pivoting from AI consulting to a pretty conventional path to where you are. It doesn't convey anything. And the transition from the icebreaker to the offer has no congruency. It's completely random. It's like saying, hey, love that your shoe size is 9. By the way, about the funeral services, because I saw your relative died, we have a funeral offer. It's like, what? Completely irrelevant. So the transition has to be some kind of relevant. There has to be some relevancy. And the second one, I start here. I said, I don't even remember saying this. So the reason this one didn't work is because I know he is fabricating personalization, because he said the AI business. He didn't casualize my company name. This is exactly where you want to use AI, to casualize a bunch of terminologies. Right? Remove LLCs, nobody would type this bracket in AI business. I don't even like mentioning company names in cold emails because it's so unnatural. Nobody really talks like that. And what the hell is this? What the hell is this? In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. Albert Einstein. What are we doing, man? What are we doing? Am I in an English class or what is this? What value does that serve? What? Why is this even here? It's such a waste. And also, this is such a waste. Do not call this out. I'm guessing this person doesn't have case studies, because it would have been much stronger to have a PS saying something that's more relevant to me, or sharing a case study. I actually like this one. I'll spare you the AI generated first line. That is actually a really nice first line, because you need to remember, when people are seeing your code emails, it's going to look like this. So they'll see the subject line, and they'll also see a little bit of the preview text. And that's actually really, really important. That actually gets my attention. So I would actually click on that. Hey, John, I'll spare you the first. It's great. It's calling out a common pattern. The fact that he didn't land in my inbox, that's the only thing that sucked. If he actually landed in my inbox, I would have opened it with interest. Because I'm like, okay, this guy knows the game. He sometimes it is good to call out the obvious, call out everybody else thing that will get your attention. Oh, don't do this, my friend. Not helpful. Reply, unsubscribe, and I'll make like a tree and leave your inbox. What? Why do people get philosophical with this stuff? What are you doing? No, you're not Einstein. Okay, you're not Shakespeare. Please, I would just remove this entirely. First of all, yeah, I mean, it's just not very relevant. I'm not even reading this, because as soon as I read this, I'm like, oh, it's not relevant, so I'm gone. Right, so filtering down your ICP is super important before you send emails to people that are not relevant. But hey, I like the first line. I might actually even try this in my own stuff, because this is actually pretty good. If you're sending it to a more sophisticated audience, kind of like me, because I'm in the code email space, so I know the dreaded AI generated first line. So calling that out is actually pretty smart. But let's see the next one. 107 sales calls booked. Okay, so it looked like I replied to them, so we'll see what they did. I think this is a templated email. I don't think they had any personalization, which is fine. Would have been helpful if they did include personalization for me specifically. It's snippets like this, right? 107 sales calls they booked. Can I do the same for you? He's saying. It would have been more useful if he found out my ideal client profile, and instead of saying, I think I can help you book more sales call, you can just say, I can help you connect more with biotech companies or wealth management, or say something, or B2B SaaS, someone I work with. These are opportunities where you want to use AI. I would have just moved the CTA here, because is this something you'd be interested in? It's so vague. I don't know what to do next. The CTA, do I have to book a call with you? So just tell me the doc in the first email. You could have done that. It's not the best. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, I remember why I did this. I remember why I picked this. When you are mentioning case studies, sometimes the bigger isn't always better. Let's assume this is true. And it could be. Maybe it is. I don't believe you. That's it. So you need to offer a case study that has a believability to it. And sometimes you need to actually put the numbers down. Because when you're mentioning, okay, so here, generating 100 million in pipeline. One of our clients went from 2 to 5 million in 9 months. The reason this is not believable is because you're not giving me context. You just said private equity or VC client went from 2 to 15 in deal flow. That's actually a lot more believable because it's a VC. But what is this one client? And the numbers seem way too big. And then is it solely based on your efforts? Case studies where the numbers are way too perfectly rounded, 30 plus, never mention that exactly. Well, don't say that. Just say you're exactly. I've worked with about 26 industries. That's more believable than 30 plus. I just reverse engineered 3 email templates. Okay, you sound like an infomercial. Bro, you're not even landing an inbox. No, this sucks. John, in addition to 3, I've noticed 5. Okay, now I can tell you're being desperate. Yeah, this guy just I said sure. Wow, I actually replied sure. Why did I reply sure? I think I wanted to see what they did. Oh no, I blocked it. Oh, okay. So I blocked this guy. So I think he did land in inbox, and I probably blocked him because it was annoying. Bro, come on, man. Like, there's so much text.
My name is Amin. I'm an appointment.
This is shit. This is so much text here. I know this is like AI generated. You need to remember, people don't mind getting sent something that is templated. Not everything needs to be personalized. I don't mind if you send me a video of a YouTube video that I know it's not personalized to me, but it's relevant and it's you demonstrating that you've done this. I would much prefer it rather than this AI slop. Oh my lord, we have another Shakespeare wannabe here. Hi John, I could have sent you a pigeon to you. You could have taken a picture, post on it. What are we doing? What is this? But instead, the pigeon convinced me to email me fast. Has this really worked? And also the bolds, not smart. That's literally probably why you're landing in spam. Because the first email you want to send as all HTML, so there's no formatting, none of that. Yeah, let's see the rest of the email. It's SEO stuff. More traffic, better rankings, less trial and error. That's so infomercial. Someone sat on a desk, looked at this, and thought this was a good idea. It's like, wow. We're gonna be rich, guys. They're sitting in a board meeting, it's like, oh, okay, watch this campaign. Watch this pigeon first line. Holy crap. I need a break. I'm gonna take a break. It's actually, wow. Not gonna pretend we're best friends, John. Just saw your founder. So let's see the offer now. This is what's gonna have to carry. We can fill your calendar with omnichannel. If it goes downhill, you pay nothing and I'll send you. Look, my friend, I do not care about you enough for me to be blasting your apology video all around. Like, this is such a bad risk reversal. It smells of a little bit of desperation, if I'm being honest. Because when you're framing the copy, instead of saying, if it goes downhill, you pay nothing. Because that presets expectations that I'm already thinking, okay, what can go wrong? What's gone wrong in the past for you? Things like that. Instead, I would just say, we will help you fill your calendar on a pay on results basis. That is the same thing. That is the same. Prospects are not stupid, right? So that just means, oh, I just pay on per appointment or on some kind of results. P.S. Using these unique strategies. Okay, this is so wordy. Using unique strategies in the last few months, not necessary. Okay, so I said, can you send me a one-pager or a Loom? He actually did. And one thing with the Loom stuff is, if you're gonna have a webcam, like, don't be on a plain background. Because I don't know if you're in your bedroom. It just shows that you look young. So how do I know you're not just a kid in the bedroom trying to make some quick buck? Maybe you are, and I respect it. But make yourself look more presentable. Be in an office or have a nice background. Dress nicely. These things go a long way. So keep that in mind. So this is what I said. I don't even remember what I said. Word salad. Yeah, that's something I would say. You didn't say much. Yeah, going over a case study would have been so much more better. And I even said the iPad thing here. That was a couple of the things that I wanted to go over in terms of the cold emos and all the spam outreach examples. None of them were great. I felt like doing this. You guys have probably saw some patterns of what people do. Even just look at this. Seeing the preview text and the subject lines, everyone is so much more similar to each other. Do everything you can to, even in the small things, not seem like everybody else. Like, don't do the website stuff. Don't do the bad AI personalization first line. Like, just remove the icebreakers and have personalization throughout the rest of the email rather than just the first line. Like, I don't like this stuff. I would much rather them do like, hey, do I send it over to you or do someone else in your team handle business development? It's almost pretend like I have the material already. I'm asking for guidance on where I send it to. Or say like, do I talk to you about this or does someone else handle hiring? That's so much better because I know with this, if I reply, send it to me, then only then you're going to go out and make the video, whatever the case you're sending is. So just remember, prospects are not stupid, please. Sometimes maybe go through your own spam and you learn that. If you want to see a real campaign of me showing you how to run a proper campaign that actually get responses, book meetings. I've done it live for a client and I showed you start to finish. You get to see my copywriting process. You get to see the meetings that get booked, the responses that I deal with, which is so much better than this, and how my copies are hundreds times better than this. Is so bad, guys. I'm not even going to pretend you need to be that smart. I'm sure you can write better than copy than this. And yeah, hopefully this has helped you out with your copy writing process. And I'll see you guys in the next time. Ciao.